There was some dashing rogue that recently released a video saying how vote by mail elections was an awful idea. Hmm. Well, everybody else in the world is smarter than that dashing rogue. And oh, what do we have here? This is coming to us from NorthJersey.com. Yes, it is that far left wing of the DNC, the media wing of the DNC. Yeah, I get it, but it's a big part of the reason why I'm using this as a springboard for this conversation. Patterson election fraud is textbook example of tampering and could be gift to Trump. This is written by Mike Kelly. Now, once again, the NorthJersey.com APPs, they're all owned by the same, very, very left organizations. So yeah, they are coming at it from this position, but guess what? They're not wrong, because this has been a disaster. All vote by mail is just, do away with it. I told you guys in the video on vote by mail that my preference, everything handwritten, tossed into a box, and those boxes are watched as they are counted in place, and everything just streamlined that way. You have to physically show up at the poll with voter ID. But let's get into this article. Donald Trump may have just received a major election gift from an unlikely place, Patterson. The news that two Patterson councilmen and two other campaign operatives were charged after they allegedly tampered with mail-in ballots in the city's municipal elections last month plays right into Trump's continuing claim that America should not trust any election that is based on mail-in ballots, as we shouldn't. He's not wrong, but they have their agenda to push through. With the CV pandemic still raging, it's not raging. It's 99% survival rate, guys. I'm sorry. It's not. You can't rage if it's a 99% survival rate. Many states are trying to encourage voters to mail in their votes, but will America trust such a system? Certainly, Trump doesn't. And now comes the bad news. Comes the news from Patterson of alleged voter fraud with mail-in ballots. Sadly, the Patterson case is a textbook example of how to manipulate mail-in ballots, observers say. It's also a warning on how easily such tampering could occur as more communities in America look to mail-in voting as a way to limit lines at polling places on Election Day and curtail the spread of the coronavirus known as CV-19. Patterson Mayor Andrew Democrat, said in an interview Friday that he fully expects Trump to turn his notorious Twitter account and cite Patterson as the kind of example of ballot fraud that could hamper his own election efforts this fall. "We don't want Donald Trump to tweet about us," said Say. "Of course you don't, because you're a Democrat, and it's Patterson. Patterson, much like Newark, much like all the other urban spaces in New Jersey, is very, very geared towards a certain political viewpoint. I'll put it to you like that." Sounding almost as if he was pleading with the president to take his finger off of his Twitter feed, as all these TDS having Democrats have been begging, quote unquote, him to do. Nonetheless, Say conceded that even though he welcomed the voter fraud charges in his city, the winning council candidates and their campaign workers were Say opponents. It was still a sad chapter for Patterson. "The integrity of this election was compromised," Say said, noting that a rising chorus of residents are already calling for Patterson to hold another election to clear up the confusion. That's exactly the kind of nightmarish scenario that many feel could emerge across America this November if Trump's claims that too many mail-in ballots were fraudulent, especially in such battleground states as Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Pardon me. While Say is hardly a Trumpite, he nonetheless shares some of Trump's concerns about mail-in ballots, as should anybody. I'm sorry. It is just a bad call all the way around, guys. It makes no sense to push this idea that they're just safe and there's no room for manipulation when you've had all of these different scenarios with boxes of votes turning up places, people getting old ballots and stuff. Like, it's very it's no, it's not on the up and up. It should be if you can't physically get to your polling place. I genuinely believe voting ballots are okay for people who can't physically get to their polling place. That's not a problem. But outside of that, everything should be face to face with voter ID. Oh my goodness. I'm very fearful of vote by mail, say he said. I'm a purist. I like to go to the actual polling site, pull this curtain, and cast my ballot. Mail-in balloting, he added, is ripe for corruption. Okay, if everybody understands this, like, if people get this, then why is Murphy and all these other governors and, Democratic state committees not getting any type of scrutiny in this? Certainly, that's the clear message from Patterson now. Understandably, law enforcement authorities are trying to send their own message too, that they will crack down on voter fraud. In announcing the charges Thursday, State Attorney General Gruber Gual sounded a none too subtle warning. Today's charges send a clear message. If you try to tamper with an election in New Jersey, we will find you and we will hold you accountable. The question for Gual and others in law enforcement is whether they can detect the widespread manipulation of mail-in ballots before they impact an election. But no matter the warnings, America faces a fundamental problem, that it appears to be far too easy to cheat with mail-in ballots. Consider what took place in early May. The Passaic County Board of Elections was forced to reject 900 mail-in ballots, many of them suspiciously bundled together and delivered to the board's offices. I think my point's been proven. I really don't need to go any further and make this video any longer than it needs to be. Yeah, mail-in voting is a scam. It's fraudulent and it's way too easy to be manipulated. And so thusly, I've like seriously completely turned around on voter ID. If you want your ballots, if you want your elections to have any type of integrity, yeah, there needs to be a level of accountability and neutral third parties to come in and check and like go over these elections. It's sad. It really, really is how simple this is. But you got this force, I'll call it, within the country that just wants to see this place burn to the ground, and it's very, very unfortunate. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff, if you liked it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead and do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. See one get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know, what do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, man, Patterson election fraud is a textbook example of tampering. Does anybody really think this is a good idea? If you think that all vote by mail ballots are a good idea, please, I am begging you, come into my comments. Explain to me how this makes any sense, okay? Because that's why I do the channel. You know that. I'm looking for people to tell me I'm wrong and not just try to troll me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until the next one.